Hi, it's Sue with today's Bible reading for February 2nd, and I'm reading Leviticus 5 through 7. Now, yesterday we started this book and it went over the burnt offering, the grain offering, the peace offering, the sin offering, and the guilt offering. Today, Leviticus is going to cover some more about those offerings. It's going to talk about the guilt offering. There's one heading that's called Eating Fat and Blood Forbidden. Eating fat and blood forbidden. You may remember I mentioned that yesterday. And another section called the priest's chair. So let's start. Chapter 5, verse 1. If anyone sins, and that he hears a public adjuration to testify, him being a witness, whether he is seen or known, if he doesn't report it, then he shall bear his iniquity. Or if anyone touches an unclean thing, whether it is the carcass of an unclean animal, or the carcass of unclean livestock, or the carcass of unclean creeping things, and it is hidden from him, and he is unclean, then he shall be made guilty. Or if he touches the uncleanness of man, whatever his uncleanness is with which he is unclean, it is hidden from him. When he knows of it, then he shall be guilty. Or if anyone swears rashly with his lips to do evil or to good, excuse me, I love this part. If any man swears rashly with his lips to do evil or to do good, whatever it is that a man might utter rashly with an oath, and it is hidden from him, when he knows of it, then he will be guilty of one of these. It shall be, when he is guilty of one of these, he shall confess that which in which he has sinned, and he shall bring his trespass offering to Yahweh for his sin which he has sinned, a female from the flock, a lamb or a goat, for a sin offering, and the priest shall make atonement for him concerning his sin. If he can't afford a lamb, then he shall bring his trespass offering for that in which he has sinned, 2 turtle doves or 2 pigeons, to Yahweh, one for sin offering and the other for a burnt offering. He shall bring them to the priest, who shall first offer the one which is for the sin offering. He shall wring off its head from its neck, but shall not sever it completely. He shall sprinkle some of the blood of the sin offering on the side of the altar, and the rest of the blood shall be drained out at the base of the altar. It is a sin offering. He shall offer the second for a burnt offering, according to the ordinance, and the priest shall make atonement for him concerning his sin, which he has sinned, and he shall be forgiven. But if he can't afford 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, then he shall bring as his offering for that in which he has sinned 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour for a sin offering. He shall put no oil on it, and shall not put any frankincense on it, for it is a sin offering. He shall bring it to the priest, and the priest shall take his handful of it as a memorial portion, and burn it on the altar on the offerings of Yahweh made by fire. It is a sin offering. The priest shall make atonement for him concerning his sin, that he has sinned in any of these things, and he will be forgiven, and the rest shall be the priest's as a meal offering. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, If anyone commits a trespass and sins unwittingly regarding Yahweh's holy things, then he shall bring his trespass offering to Yahweh, a ram without defect from the flock, according to your estimation, in silver by shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, for a trespass offering. Let's see what it says a shekel is. A shekel is about 10 grams, or a third of an ounce. Said 0.35 ounces. So it says, according to the shekel of the sanctuary for a trespass offering, he shall make restitution for that which he has done wrong regarding the holy thing, and shall add a fifth part of it, and give it to the priest, and the priest shall make atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering, and he shall be forgiven. If anyone sins doing any of the things which Yahweh has commanded not to be done, though he didn't know it, he is still guilty and shall bear his iniquity. He shall bring a ram without defect from the flock, according to your estimation, for a trespass offering to the priest, and the priest shall make atonement for him concerning the thing with which he sinned and didn't know it, and he will be forgiven. It is a trespass offering. He is certainly guilty before Yahweh. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, If anyone sins and commits a trespass against Yahweh, and deals falsely with his neighbor in a matter of deposit, or bargain, or of robbery, or has oppressed his neighbor, or has found that which was lost and lied about it, and swearing to a lie in any of these things that a man sins in his actions, then it shall be, if he has sinned and he is guilty, he shall restore that which he took by robbery, or the thing which he has gotten by oppression, or the deposit which was committed to him, or the lost thing which he found, or anything about which he has sworn falsely. He shall restore it in full, and shall add a fifth part more to it. He shall return it to him to whom it belongs in the day of his being found guilty. He shall bring his trespass offering to Yahweh, a ram without defect from the flock, according to your estimation, for a trespass offering to the priest. The priest shall make atonement for him before Yahweh, and he will be forgiven concerning whatever he does to become guilty. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, Command Aaron and his sons, saying, This is the law of the burnt offering. The burnt offering shall be on the hearth of the altar all night until morning, and the fire of the altar shall be kept burning on it. The priest shall put on his linen garment, and he shall put on his linen trousers upon his body, and he shall remove the ashes from where the fire has consumed the burnt offering on the altar, and he shall put them beside the altar. He shall take off his garments and put on other garments, and carry the ashes outside the camp to a clean place. The fire on the altar shall be kept burning on it, it shall not go out, and the priest shall burn wood on it every morning. He shall lay the burnt offering in order upon it, and shall burn on it the fat of the peace offerings. Fire shall be kept burning on the altar continually, it shall not go out. This is the law of the meal offering. The sons of Aaron shall offer it before Yahweh, before the altar. He shall take from there his handful out of the fine flour of the meal offering, and of its oil, and all the frankincense on which is the meal offering, and shall burn it on the altar for a pleasant aroma, as its memorial portion to Yahweh. That which is left of it, Aaron and his sons shall eat. It shall be eaten without yeast in a holy place. They shall eat it in the court of the tent of the meeting. It shall not be baked with yeast. I have given it as their portion of my offering made by fire. It is most holy, as are the sin offerings and the trespass offering. Every male among the children of Aaron shall eat of it, as their portion forever throughout your generations from the offerings of Yahweh made by fire. Whoever touches them shall be holy. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, This is the offering of Aaron and his sons, and they shall offer to Yahweh in the day when he is anointed 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour for a meal offering perpetually, half of it in the morning and half of it in the evening. It shall be made with oil in the griddle. When it is soaked, you shall bring it in. You shall offer the meal offering in baked pieces for a pleasant aroma to Yahweh. The anointed priest that will be in his place from among his sons shall offer it. By statute forever, it shall be wholly burned to Yahweh. And that's WHOLLY, wholly burned to Yahweh. Every meal offering of a priest shall be wholly burned, it shall not be eaten. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, This is the law of the sin offering. In the place where the burnt offering is killed, the sin offering shall be killed before Yahweh. It is most holy. The priest who offers it for a sin shall eat it. It shall be eaten in a holy place in the court of the tent of the meeting. Whatever shall touch its flesh shall be holy. When there is any of its blood sprinkled on a garment, you shall wash that on which it was sprinkled in a holy place. But the earthen vessel in which it's boiled shall be broken, and if it is boiled in a bronze vessel, it shall be scoured and rinsed in water. Every male among the priests shall eat of it. It is most holy. No sin offering of which any of the blood is brought into the tent of the meeting to make atonement in the holy place shall be eaten. It shall be burned with fire. This is the law of the trespass offering. It is most holy. In the place where they kill the burnt offering, he shall kill the trespass offering, and its blood he shall sprinkle around the altar. He shall offer all of its fat, the fat tail, and the fat that covers the innards, and he shall take away the 2 kidneys and the fat that is on them, which is by the loins, and the cover on the liver, with the kidneys, and the priest shall burn them on the altar as an offering made by fire to Yahweh. It is a trespass offering. Every male among the priests may eat it. It shall be eaten in a holy place. It is most holy. As is the sin offering, so is the trespass offering. There is one law for them. The priest who makes atonement with them shall have it. The priest who offers any man's burnt offering shall have for himself the skin of the burnt offering which he has offered. Every meal offering that is baked in the oven and that is prepared in the pan and on the griddle shall be the priest who offers it. Every meal offering mixed with oil or dry belongs to the sons of Aaron, one as well as another. This is the law of the sacrifice of peace offerings, which one shall offer to Yahweh. If he offers it for thanksgiving, then he shall offer with the sacrifice of thanksgiving unleavened cakes mixed with oil, and unleavened wafers anointed with oil, and cakes mixed with oil. He shall offer his offerings with the sacrifice of his peace offerings for thanksgiving with cakes of leavened bread. Of it he shall offer one out of each offering for a heave offering to Yahweh. It shall be the priest who sprinkles the blood of the peace offering. The flesh of the sacrifice of his peace offering for thanksgiving shall be eaten on the day of his offering. He shall not leave any of it until morning. But if the sacrifice of his offering is a vow or a free will offering, it shall be eaten on the day that he offers his sacrifice. On the next day, what remains of it shall be eaten. But what remains of the meat of the sacrifice on the 3rd day shall be burned with fire. If any of the meat of the sacrifice of his peace offerings is not eaten on the third, no, is eaten on the third day, it will not be accepted. It shall not be credited to him who offers it. It will be an abomination, and the soul who eats any of it will bear his iniquity. The meat that touches any unclean thing shall not be eaten. It shall be burned with fire. As for the meat, everyone who is clean may eat it, but the soul who eats the meat of the sacrifice of peace offerings that belongs to Yahweh, having his uncleanness on him, that soul shall be cut off from his people. When anyone touches any unclean thing, the uncleanness of the man, or the unclean animal, an unclean abomination, and eats some of the meat of the sacrifice of peace offerings, which belongs to the Lord, that soul shall be cut off from his people. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, You shall eat no fat of the bull, or sheep, or goat. The fat of that which dies of itself, and the fat of that which is torn of animals, may be used for any other service, but you shall in no way eat of it. For whoever eats the fat of the animal which men offer as an offering made by fire to Yahweh, even the soul who eats it shall be cut off from his people. You shall not eat any blood, whether it is of bird or animal, in any of the dwellings. Whoever it is that eats blood, that soul shall be cut off from his people. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, He who offers a sacrifice of his peace offering to Yahweh shall bring his offering to Yahweh out of the sacrifice of his peace offerings. With his own hands he shall bring the offering of Yahweh made by fire. He shall bring the fat of the breast, that the breast may be waved for a wave offering before Yahweh. The priest shall burn the fat on the altar, but the breast shall be Aaron's and his sons'. The right thigh you shall give to the priest for a heave offering out of the sacrifices of your peace offerings. He among the sons of Aaron who offers the blood of the peace offering and the fat shall have the right thigh for a portion. For the waved breast and the heaved thigh I have taken from the children of Israel out of the sacrifices of their peace offerings, and have given them to Aaron the priest and to his sons as their portion forever from the children of Israel. This is the consecration portion of Aaron, and the consecrated portion of his sons, out of the offerings of Yahweh made by fire, in the day when he presented them to minister to Yahweh in the priest's office, which Yahweh commanded to be given them of the children of Israel in the day that he anointed them. It is their portion forever throughout their generations. This is the law of the burnt offering, the meal offering, the sin offering, the trespass offering, the consecration, and the sacrifice of peace offerings, which Yahweh commanded Moses in Mount Sinai in the day that he commanded the children of Israel to offer their offerings to Yahweh in the wilderness of Sinai. That's it for today's reading. Thank you for joining me. Shalom.